The typical thing that triggers a spell of extreme poverty is the loss of a job. People who, with just a little bit of support, could have some stability, are spiraling down into situations that are really harmful for kids. And what that means is that their lives sort of fall apart. Ray McCormick grew up on the west side of Cleveland. Her father died when she was 12 years old, and her mother fled with a lover to the hills. A landlord who was a friend of her father's let her go without paying rent. But she was essentially living alone. The only thing she had to live on was her father's Social Security check. She hits 18. She has a child. And a super Walmart comes to town and she gets a job. She's absolutely committed to being a worker. Her father always worked. She sees her work as a testament to his influence. And she says, you know, I'm going to set as a goal to be named Cashier of the Month. So she begins observing what other cashiers are doing and the things that slow them down. And what she notices is that, you know, the tags will fall off the produce and you have to look up the barcode and type it in. So she gets it in her head that she's just gonna memorize all these barcodes. So she has this little pad by her register and writes them all down. Then when she returns home, she reads these into the recording device on her phone. And then as she sleeps, she puts earphones on and puts this recording device on continuous play. In the first 6 months, she is named Cashier of the Month twice. But then one day, she's been paying this extended family to use the truck. She gets into the truck and the gas is gone. Nobody in the household has any money to put in this truck for gas. She has no more money for another 2 weeks. So she's panicked and she calls in her manager at Super Walmart. And he says, you know, if you can't bother to find a way to work, don't come back in. So this is just crushing. This starts Ray's spiral into poverty. We need a safety net that truly is a springboard for work, because the low-wage labor market of 20 years ago was much, much better than the low-wage labor market of today. Employers have virtually no loyalty to their employees. They'll lay you off for weeks and then bring you back. This is fine if you're hiring teenagers, you know, but these are parents. So this is devastating to Ray, right? So she toughs it out. She keeps looking for work. She toughs it out. Finally, she decides she's going to go to the welfare office because, you know, she's got this little girl to take care of. Each time she was diverted. Honey, I'm sorry, there's so many needy people in Ohio. We just don't have enough to go around. Come back next year. A lot of times you end up having moral discussions about the worthiness of the poor. Are these lazy people? And I think as society has grown more and more unequal and we've become more and more residentially segregated, it's easier to other the poor. Almost all of the poor are workers. They believe in the American dream too, but they're people who are vulnerable. Ray is, I think, a striking example of how somebody just begins to collapse under the weight of bad luck and no hand up. We're producing a lot of really, really bad jobs that can't sustain families and are corroding, you know, the promise of America that if you're willing to work, you shouldn't be poor. We need to help families find a way to transition from one job to another in a way that doesn't lead to this spiral into housing instability, homelessness, and so on.